You see, life is very strange. You chase someone, they run faster. You hold on, they slip away. But if you sit still, untouched, suddenly they want to return. Why? Because human beings do not value what is freely given. So, should you help someone who is trying to lose you? Or should you let them go and watch what happens? Listen carefully. This may change the way you see relationships forever. You see, in life, the things we get easily, we stop appreciating. The water from a tap. We waste it. The air around us. We don't think twice about it. But let someone struggle for water in a desert, and every drop becomes a treasure. Let someone gasp for air, and suddenly every breath becomes sacred. The same principle applies to people. The more available you are, the less you are valued. It is not because people are cruel, it is just how the human mind works. What is rare is precious, what is abundant is overlooked. This is why a diamond is more valuable than a rock, not because it is better, but because it is not found on every street. Think about it in your own life. Have you ever chased after someone? Maybe a friend, a lover, a relative who kept pulling away. You call, they don't answer. You text, they reply late. You keep trying harder, and instead of appreciating your efforts, they become even more distant. But the moment you stop, the moment you shift your focus, suddenly they want to know where you are. Why? Because when something is always present, we take it for granted. But when it is missing, we finally understand its value. Look at your own childhood. As a child, you probably had food on your plate every day. You didn't think about it, right? You never really looked at the rice or the bread and thought, wow, I am so lucky to have this. But if you had ever gone hungry for a whole day, if you had ever seen a starving man on the street, you would know the real value of a meal. The presence of something makes us blind to it. Its absence opens our eyes. Now, apply this to your relationships. You pour your heart into someone. You give them your time, your attention, your love. But instead of being grateful, they begin to act as if they are doing you a favor by staying in your life. They make you wait. They respond when they feel like it. They don't prioritize you. And yet, the more they pull away, the harder you try. This is where you are going wrong. The more freely you give yourself, the less they see your worth. Look at the way society works. The most expensive brands in the world do not go around begging people to buy their products. You will never see Rolls-Royce doing a discount sale. You will never see a high-end luxury brand sending out flyers, begging customers to visit. Why? Because they know their value. They do not load themselves to seek validation. They let the right people find them. But people do the opposite. They beg to be noticed. They lower their standards. They chase after those who do not see their worth. And in doing so, they become like a cheap item on sale, available to everyone, desired by no one. If you want to be valued, stop giving yourself away so easily. If someone cannot see your worth, stop trying to prove it to them. Step back. Let them feel your absence. Let them experience what life is like without your presence. And if they truly care, they will come back. Not because you forced them, but because they realized your value on their own. This does not mean you should become arrogant or play games. It simply means you should understand your own worth. A rare painting does not scream for attention. A masterpiece does not beg to be admired. It simply exists in its full glory, and those who recognize its beauty are drawn to it naturally. Now think of a time in your life when you lost something and only then realized how important it was. Maybe it was a person, maybe it was a job, maybe it was just a simple opportunity you ignored because you thought it would always be there. And when it was gone, you wished you had appreciated it more. This is the mistake people make in relationships every day. They assume someone will always be there. They take kindness for weakness. They mistake consistency for desperation. And when they finally realize what they had, it is often too late. So if someone is trying to lose you, let them go. Do not beg, do not plead, do not chase, whether they see it or not. And when you walk away with dignity, one of two things will happen. Either they will realize their mistake and return with respect, or you will make space for someone who truly understands your worth. Either way, you win. Imagine holding a handful of sand in your palm. If you grip it too tightly, it slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, it stays. This is how relationships work. The tighter you hold on to someone, the more suffocated they feel. And the more you allow them to breathe, the more naturally they stay. People confuse love with possession. They think that if they love someone, they must keep them close at all costs. They must monitor their every move, demand constant attention, and expect them to never change. But love is not a cage. It is a space where two people can grow. If you try to trap someone, they will want to escape. But if you give them the freedom to be themselves, they will stay, not because they have to, but because they want to. Think of a bird. If you trap it in a cage, it may sing for you, but it will never be truly happy. If you open the door and let it fly, it may leave, or it may return. But if it stays, it is because it chooses to, not because it has no other choice. Love should be like this. A choice, not a forced obligation. Many people destroy their own happiness because of attachment. They fear losing someone so much that they become obsessive. They want constant reassurance, constant validation, constant proof that the other person will not leave. But in doing this, they push the person away. No one wants to feel trapped. No one wants to feel like they are carrying the weight of someone else's fears and insecurities. Love should feel not heavy. Look at the way nature works. A river flows freely. The sky stretches endlessly. The sun rises without asking for permission. There is no force, no control, only movement and existence. When you try to control love, you go against the natural flow of life. And anything that goes against nature is bound to break. Have you ever seen a child playing? They do not hold on to their toys with desperation. They enjoy them. And when they are done, they move on to the next adventure. But adults cling to things, afraid to let go. They hold on to toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, and painful memories, all because they fear change. But what they don't realize is that freedom is where real love and growth happen. Think about a tree. It does not force its leaves to stay. When the season changes, the leaves fall, and the tree lets them go. It does not cry for the lost leaves because it knows that new ones will come. In the same way, people will come and go in your life. Some will stay for a lifetime, and some will only be chapters in your story. If you cling to every person, every moment, every situation, you will only bring yourself suffering. Attachment is not love. Attachment is fear. It is the fear of loss, the fear of change, the fear of being alone. And when you love from a place of fear, it is not love at all. It is dependency. True love is freedom. It is allowing people to be who they are without forcing them to fit into your expectations. It is trusting that if someone truly belongs in your life, they will stay. Not because you are holding them there, but because they want to be there. Have you ever noticed how people who chase others always seem to end up hurt? They text first, they call first, they give and give, only to feel unappreciated. Why? Because they are operating from attachment, not freedom. They are afraid that if they do not chase, they will lose the person. But in reality, chasing only makes the person run faster. Look at the most beautiful relationships around you. They are not built on pressure or control. They are built on mutual respect and understanding. When two people love each other with freedom, they allow each other to grow. They support each other's dreams without demanding sacrifice. They give without expecting. And because of this, their bond is strong, not out of need, but out of choice. If you ever find yourself holding on to someone too tightly, ask yourself, am I loving them or am I trying to own them? Am I giving them the space to be themselves or am I making them feel trapped? If you love someone, set them free. If they return, it is because they truly want to be there. If they do not, it means they were never meant to stay. Either way, you win. Because real love is not about possession. It is about presence. It is about allowing each other to be without fear, without force, without control. Everything in this universe moves with a rhythm. The rivers flow, the wind blows, the seasons change, and the sun rises without being forced. There's no struggle, no resistance, only movement. The entire existence is built upon the flow of energy, and when you align yourself with this natural flow, life moves effortlessly. But when you go against it, when you try to hold on to what is meant to leave or chase after what is not meant for you, suffering begins. Look at water. When it flows freely, it remains pure and fresh. But when it is blocked, When it is trapped in a stagnant pond, it begins to stink. The same happens with human energy. If you hold on to negative emotions, toxic relationships, or situations that are draining you, your inner energy becomes polluted. You feel heavy, exhausted, and stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing is changing. But nothing changes because you are resisting the natural flow of energy. Have you ever tried to force someone to stay in your life? Maybe a friend who no longer treats you the same, a partner who has emotionally checked out, or even a job that no longer fulfills you? You keep trying, keep pushing, keep holding on, only to feel more and more drained. That is because you are fighting against the flow. When something is meant for you, it stays effortlessly. When something is not, no amount of force can keep it. Think of a relationship. Have you ever noticed that when someone truly wants to be with you, they make time, they show up, they put in the effort. But when someone is not meant for you, no matter how much love and energy you give, they remain distant. It is not because you are not enough, it is simply because their energy is flowing in a different direction. And instead of chasing, you must learn to respect that flow. Imagine you are standing in a river. If you try to walk against the current, you will struggle, you will get tired, and eventually you will fall. But if you go with the flow, if you trust where the water is taking you, the journey becomes easy. Life is the same way. Stop forcing, stop clinging, stop chasing. Instead, align yourself with the natural movement of energy, and you will see how effortlessly things start falling into place. Look at the most successful people around you. They do not waste energy forcing doors that refuse to open. They do not beg for attention, love, or opportunities. They move with the flow. If one door closes, they trust that another will open. If someone walks away, they allow it. If something does not work out, they take it as a sign to redirect their energy elsewhere. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. Respecting energy flow also means understanding your own energy. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt uncomfortable? Or met someone who drained you without even saying much? That is because energy speaks louder than words. When your energy does not align with a person, a place, or a situation, your body feels it before your mind understands it. But instead of listening, most people ignore these signals. They stay in places that drain them, entertain people who exhaust them, and engage in things that do not serve them. All because they are afraid to let go. But what happens when you let go? When you remove yourself from things that do not align with you, suddenly your energy feels lighter. You feel at peace. You start attracting situations and people that match your frequency. Because the moment you stop resisting, you make space for what is truly meant for you. Nature teaches us this lesson every day. The trees do not hold onto dead leaves. They let them fall so that new ones can grow. The ocean does not cling to waves. It lets them rise and fall naturally. Even the human body respects energy flow. When you breathe in, you must also breathe out. You cannot hold your breath forever. So why do people try to hold on to things that are meant to leave? If something is draining your energy, step back. If something is forcing you to fight for its place in your life, question whether it belongs there at all. Life is not meant to be a constant battle of forcing things to fit. The right people, the right opportunities, the right moments, they will flow to you when you're aligned with your energy. And when you learn to respect this flow, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop controlling and start trusting. And in that trust, you find true freedom. Imagine walking into a store where everything has a price tag. You see a beautiful diamond ring displayed in a glass case, priced at thousands of dollars. Then, in a dusty corner, you find a pile of cheap trinkets, priced at only a few cents. Now ask yourself, who decided their value? The price tag was not put there by the items themselves. It was placed by the store. But in life, you are the one who decides your worth. If you allow yourself to be treated like a trinket, people will pick you up, use you for a moment, and toss you aside. But if you recognize that you are a diamond, you will only allow yourself to be handled with care, respect, and admiration. Too many people go through life waiting for others to validate them. They seek approval from family, friends, society, or even strangers on social media. They think that if someone loves them, hires them, or praises them, then they are worthy. But this is the greatest mistake one can make. Self-worth is not something others give you, it is something you claim for yourself. The moment you allow the world to define your value, you give away your power. Have you ever seen a person who walks into a room and commands attention without even trying? They do not beg for it, they do not seek approval, yet everyone notices them. Why? Because they know their worth. When you truly believe in yourself, the world reflects that belief back to you. But when you doubt yourself, the world will treat you the same way. Think about a job interview. Two candidates walk in. One is nervous, unsure of themselves, and desperate for the position. The other walks in with confidence, knowing their skills, knowing their value. Who do you think will get hired? The one who believes in their worth. This is not arrogance. This is the quiet power of self-respect. The world mirrors what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are deserving of great things, you will attract them. If you believe you are not enough, the world will agree. Relationships work the same way. Have you ever seen someone chase after a person who does not respect them? They beg, they plead, they lower their standards just to be loved. And what happens? The more they chase, the less they are valued. But when a person knows their worth, they do not beg for attention. They do not settle for breadcrumbs of love. They walk away from anything that does not honor them. And in doing so, they attract people who see their value. A queen does not chase after people to prove she is royalty. She knows who she is, and because of that, people recognize her presence. You must do the same. Stop waiting for others to tell you that you are valuable. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's opinion. You are already enough, just as you are. But the moment you forget this, the world will too. Self-worth also determines what you tolerate. If you allow people to disrespect you, they will. If you accept less than you deserve, that is all you will ever get. But the moment you say, I will not settle for less than I am worth, everything changes. This applies to friendships, love, every area of life. Have you ever noticed that successful people do not waste time with negativity? They do not entertain toxic relationships, meaningless arguments, or situations that drain them. Why? Because they know their energy is valuable. They protect their time, their peace, and their mind. When you know your worth, you stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stop seeking validation because you realize that your value does not decrease just because someone fails to see it. Imagine $100 bill. If you crumple it, step on it, throw it in the dirt, does it lose its value? No. It is still worth $100. The same is true for you. No matter what has happened to you, no matter how many people have tried to tear you down, your worth remains the same. But the question is, do you recognize it? There will always be people who do not see your value. That is not your problem. Your job is not to convince others that you are worthy. Your job is to walk with confidence, knowing that the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences will come to those who respect themselves. Stop settling, stop begging, stop allowing the world to dictate what you deserve. The moment you decide that you are enough, everything in your life will rise to meet that belief. Self-worth is not something you find, it is something you choose. And when you choose it, the world has no choice but to respect it. There will be moments in life when someone will hurt you, betray you, or break your trust in ways you never expected. The pain of being wronged by someone you trusted, someone you loved, or someone you once considered a friend can be overwhelming. In those moments, the natural instinct is to seek revenge. The mind tells you, they hurt me, so I must make them feel the same pain. But here is the truth. Revenge is never the answer. When you chase revenge, you are allowing someone else to control your emotions. Think about it. If you spend your time plotting ways to get back at someone, whose energy are you focusing on? Theirs. Instead of living your life, you are stuck in the past, reliving the pain they caused. You become a prisoner of your own anger, carrying a weight that does nothing but drag you down. And the worst part? The person who hurt you may not even care. They have moved on while you are still holding on to the fire of resentment, burning yourself in the process. Imagine someone throws a stone at you. You have two choices. You can pick up the stone and throw it back, or you can use it to build something stronger. If you choose revenge, you are no different from the one who hurt you. You become their mirror, repeating the same cycle of negativity. But if you choose growth, if you use that pain to build resilience, wisdom, and strength, you rise above them. You turn your wounds into wisdom, your heartbreak into power. There is a famous saying, before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig two graves, one for your enemy and one for yourself. Revenge does not bring peace, it brings more suffering. You may think that making someone pay for their actions will heal your pain, but in reality, it only extends it. It keeps you trapped in the same low energy, preventing you from moving forward. True strength is not in hurting someone back. It is in proving that they no longer have power over you. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do they waste their time on revenge? No. They channel their energy into growth. They take their pain and turn it into something great. They let their success be the loudest response to those who doubted them, betrayed them, or tried to bring them down. That is real victory, not in making others suffer, but in proving that they never had the ability to break you. Think of a broken heart. Maybe someone left you without an explanation. Maybe they chose someone else over you. Maybe they betrayed your trust in the worst way possible. The easiest thing to do is to seek revenge, to make them regret losing you, to show them that you can hurt them just as badly. But here is the truth. Your value does not decrease just because someone failed to see it. Your worth does not depend on their choices. And the best way to win is not by seeking revenge, but by rising so high that they become irrelevant. Revenge is an emotional reaction, but growth is a conscious decision. When someone does you wrong, take it as a lesson, not as a command to destroy them. Their actions do not define you. Your response does. Walking away with your dignity, focusing on your growth, and creating a life that makes you proud is the best way to show that you are untouchable. Let's say you were unfairly fired from a job. You could waste months plotting against your former boss, trying to ruin their reputation. Or you could take that time to build something better for yourself, to improve your skills, to find a job that truly values you. And then one day when they see you thriving, they will realize they lost someone great. But by then, you will no longer care, because you will have moved on to better things. In every situation where you are wronged, you have a choice. You can let it consume you, or you can let it fuel you. You can stay bitter, or you can get better. The people who hurt you do not deserve your time, your energy, or your emotions. The best revenge is no revenge. It is showing them that you are above their level, that their actions did not break you, that you are stronger, wiser, and more powerful because of it. The world is full of negativity, but you do not have to add to it. Choose to be different. Choose to rise above. Choose to let your success, your happiness, and your peace be your answer. Because at the end of the day, revenge may bring temporary satisfaction, but true victory is in living a life so fulfilling that you never think about them again. Silence is not emptiness. It is power. In a world where people are desperate to be heard, where voices are constantly shouting over each other, silence becomes the loudest response. It carries a depth that words often fail to express. It is a statement in itself, a force that can shake people more than the loudest argument ever could. Think about it. When someone disrespects you, what do they expect? A reaction. When someone provokes you, what are they hoping for? Your anger. But when you respond with silence, you disrupt their expectations. You strip them of the power they thought they had over you.